morning. It is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Healthy Kids, Chaves County, we have Paula Camp and Becky Joyce back with us. Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Oh,
good.
This thing didn't want to bend right on me. I was fighting me here. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Good deal. I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling weak. I need to go work out or something.
Oh, don't go overboard.
I know. They know I'm kidding.
Okay.
Well, how are you guys doing today?
We're
Pretty
doing
good.
well.
Good.
We're busy. Doing well.
And then, and for folks who don't know, Healthy Kids Chaves County, it's actually, I guess you say a subset of the New Mexico Department of Health. Is that
It is. We are
an
initiative of the Department of Health.
initiative? They have other fancy words, but
Yes.
in essence, it's a part of. It's kind of an offshoot. It's not technically New Mexico Department of Health. It's like a offshoot support.
We're a subset of healthy communities,
Yeah.
New Mexico healthy communities.
Well, and I guess, does each county have their own, like Healthy Kids, Eddy County? Or
There's 9 counties
Nine
in
that
the
has it?
state that have a Healthy Kids coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're just lucky enough
Yeah,
that
right.
You guys are available to be hired for Healthy Kids Chaves
Right,
County.
Exactly.
Here, so.
Exactly.
But really, they are a great resource for families in Chaves County, especially when it comes to school related, when in the world we live in with COVID and how we access things that we normally access. The Healthy Kids Chaves County group, you guys have been very pivotal in making sure that information gets to families, resources get to families.
Correct.
And that's kind of been your role in the last really 2 years here. I know
Especially during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really, even outside of COVID, education, outreach, all that,
Yes.
that's very much part of the fabric. Now it kind of went from just education outreach to being a conduit to being a source of information and
Right.
resources for folks during
Right.
the pandemic here. So
And now that it's settling down a little bit, we've been allowed to go back in the schools.
good.
Following COVID restrictions, of course, COVID protocol. But we've started with BMI.
Right, yeah. So we've been working on BMI, which is body mass index, and we check
I know,
that.
very familiar with that one.
Yeah. And so we have a program that we pick about 70 schools randomly
Okay.
throughout the state, and then we test those, the kindergarten and third grade in those schools for their BMI.
Body mass
and
index, yeah.
then we use that data, we send it to Santa Fe, and we do a report for each school.
Okay.
And then it also justifies our programs with Healthy Kids going into the school to fight childhood obesity.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, so-
I mean, obviously the world we live in today, and we've had these conversations before, the way food's prepared versus access to it.
And their
Right.
physical activity,
Yeah.
and sitting on iPads and watching TV. And
Yeah.
So we're real interested in the data after COVID, how
Sure.
everybody was sitting at home. And so we're
Right.
hoping that it's not a lot higher, but I'm afraid it might be.
Well, I mean, just it doesn't really take a whole lot of real deep investigating to kind of, if people aren't going out, people aren't able to do things, then those numbers are not going to be, they're going to be
Right.
way up.
Right.
Right. It was bound to happen.
Hopefully, it's mitigated a little bit by people taking initiative and doing some of the, physical stuff on their own that they could do.
Right. And we tried to, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
during COVID, we tried to encourage that on our Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page and through different media opportunities. But we tried to encourage them to get out, go to parks, go to, investigate our trails, go to Bitter Lakes,
Yeah.
Bottomless Lakes. So,
Right.
we've tried to do that and then encourage different healthy eating options and things like that. So
Yeah.
anyway, we've been busy with BMI and we've been traveling some to different, because I'm the state BMI coordinator.
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah.
get to check the whole
Yeah,
state
so
here.
we've been
I'm only
going
her
to
assistant.
Santa Fe. We've got a trip to Deming coming, and we're going to Farmington next week.
Los
and so,
Alamos.
Yeah, so we've been kind of all over, just on the road.
Wow.
Right.
So racking up some hotel frequent
Frequent.
client
That's right.
Yes.
points or whatever
That's
they call it.
right.
Right.
Well, the only reason I knew about BMI stuff, because when I was in the Air Force, they always have your height, weight restrictions,
Right, sure.
everything. And I'm big boned. No, but no, I was never like, I think for being 5'8", I think my minimum weight was like 184, and I'm always was floating about 10 pounds heavier than that.
Uh-huh.
But where I was safe or not getting in trouble was my BMI, because if you were if your weight was heavier than the specs, but your BMI was under 20%, then you're good to go.
I see.
And so I
Okay.
would I'd get out under that mark. They'd be like, "Oh, well, your BMI is under 20. We don't have to put you on the program
good.
and all that." But that's how I lived and died by the BMI there for a few years. I'm like, all right, get on that treadmill.
Becky also does training at the nursing colleges.
Right. So we
Okay.
use the nursing schools throughout the state, about 7 different ones, to help us do those measurements. Because if it was just Paula and I and we're doing a school, I mean, it would take us quite a long time.
You'd be doing it 24/7.
Right.
Every day.
Yeah.
Right. So we do that, and then some of our Santa Fe staff also helps with that measurement. But the nursing schools are great, so we do a training to teach them. We have to have the same protocol every place we measure, so
Sure.
the data is correct.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so-
there's different ways people measure BMI.
right, and we can't use
Different equipment.
Some
Well,
are more accurate than others,
Right.
and the most accurate one. There's no way there's that kind of funding because you'd have to get the water tanks and all that. And, I mean, those are probably the most accurate measurement, but
Right.
But who's got
Right.
that lying around
right
to do
But
that?
we have
with?
the same scales that we haul from place to place, and, and we don't use digital. And it's funny because we've been working with the nursing programs, and some of them have never seen those kind of scales.
Really?
Because
Right.
it's
It's all
everything's digital.
digital.
And so
And they're like,
they're
young
like, whoa.
adults. They're
Yeah.
18, 20 years old. They've always had digital.
Yeah,
Right,
Well,
right.
like because back in the day, I mean, they take the little pincher thing
yeah.
and the
Sure.
tape measure, and then you got to do
Sure.
some calculations.
Right.
That's how they always
Yeah.
calculated your BMI. At least
Right.
when I had to get
Right,
tested
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't have to
Exactly.
do that, but we do use the same scales and same stadiometers and haul those from place to place. But we have these trainings with the nursing schools, and we couldn't do it without the nursing schools there. And we've had a great group this week. We've been doing 4 different schools here in Roswell this week, and they are Johnny on the spot. Boy, they are there on time, and they're dressed in their little scrubs with their name tags, and
They've been fabulous.
Yeah, they've been
They're
fabulous.
from
Awesome.
the college.
the college
Okay.
here at Eastern, and so
Nice.
yeah,
And they have a great nursing program.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great to see. Oh yeah, they got best in the state, arguably.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So we're just really appreciative that we can work with them. We also, the New Mexico Grown has come together to have a recognition committee
Okay.
for the state. We, how we always want to encourage New Mexico Grown people to purchase that, people
Absolutely.
to eat that with Graves Farms. And our cafeterias are so great in Dexter and RISD to purchase NM Grown. So the state decided to recognize school districts that work so hard to do this.
Good.
Dexter received a statewide Sprout Award.
Nice.
Yes, which we're very happy about. And
They're coming up.
Right. There's one before
Keep the
them,
fun
but I
going.
can't remember. A seed. There's a seed, a sprout, a blossom, and then the golden chili.
Oh,
Yes, that's what we're aspiring to, is the
Gotcha.
golden chili. So Dexter, we're so proud to say that Shelley Montgomery and her group got the Sprout Award.
Nice.
And then Kim Meeks here in the Roswell Independent School District received the Blossom Award.
Oh, nice.
And there were only 2 Blossom Awards in the state, Albuquerque and us.
Roswell.
Well, that's
Yes.
impressive. Absolutely.
And the difference between the two is the gardens.
Okay.
Dexter doesn't have any gardens at their schools yet.
So she's going to be up for the going up the next level here when the garden's getting placed.
Sure.
everything,
And
probably.
we'll,
Yeah.
we're always ready to work with any school with the garden.
Yeah.
But Roswell has their gardens, and they take the harvest, and the cafeteria cooks it and brings it back to the kids.
That's cool.
So that's the whole process
They see
that
the
we
full
want the
circle
kids to see.
Mm-hmm.
from in the dirt to in their mouth.
Right. Pecos is famous for their carrots.
Yeah,
They've had tons of carrots
and beets.
and beets. And Dr. Ryan has told us they have more carrots, so we'll be harvesting more.
Well,
And
they
then
should see that coming.
at
Sorry.
Nancy Lopez, Kim Meeks is their garden champion, and they
Kim
had-
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Kim Meeks because okay, never mind. Kim Kevin. Thank you, Beck. They had cucumbers, and so they did a taste testing with the cucumbers. Then they made pickles.
Oh, cool. So they
know.
learned a little bit of the pickling
Right,
process.
exactly.
And everything, too.
Then they got to eat that.
Right.
They also
Made
have
sal-
herbs, and they're going to make pesto.
Nice.
And they made salsa.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
they made salsa.
I know she's been like getting after it.
That's
I mean,
great.
And the kids
So we're
are
so
just
proud
loving
of
it.
them.
Yeah.
So proud of them for working so hard, and that's such a life learning.
Well, if we got a whole classroom of
situation.
chefs going on there, you know how it happened there. All of a sudden, they got
Exactly.
exposed to the garden. That's
Exactly.
great.
That's
Good deal.
right.
And then we've got, like I was speaking of trails and getting out and walking, we're finally going to have a connection between Spring River and Cielo Grande.
Yeah, this has been in the
and
talks
in the
and
works
the work.
forever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Forever.
we really didn't have the funding at this time to connect down by the bird sanctuary over to Cielo Grande at this time, but that's still on the back burner.
Sure.
But we are going to get to one downriver. It's going to go across by the tennis courts down Riverside and then hit Mississippi.
Oh, good.
And then
Okay.
go north on Mississippi because it's a wide street and
Yeah.
no houses face Mississippi.
In that area.
Okay.
They face north or south to their side streets.
Okay.
So they can actually make a bike lane and a walking lane along the
Right, the
side of the
street there.
road.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
And then they'll have speed humps, not
Okay.
speed bumps.
Okay.
Don't be confused. And a hump is a little more easy
That's
going.
a technical term. A bump is a lot taller than a hump. That's just science there.
Right,
folks.
that's what Louis Nahar, our city engineer, was saying. Make sure everybody knows it's a speed hump,
Yeah,
not
they-
a speed
Not a bump.
They got a stick that they use, and one says bump, and one says hump. And if it gets that other one, then it goes and officially bump.
So
for
anyway,
hump
it'll have
category.
these speed humps to slow people down a little bit, but not like jar your
Gotcha.
whole body.
Sure.
And so
Just enough to knock over your grocery bag, not break the eggs.
Right. Or your purse. That's
so it'll
open.
run north and south, and it'll run up to 8th Street, and then across, and then they'll have a little connection over there with Cielo Grande. So we'll actually finally have a way for everybody to kind of be connected.
Oh, cool.
And then
Which
our
is
city has
fabulous.
applied for the RTP and TAP grants
Good.
through the state. That hopefully, if we get that money, then we maybe can do the connection down at Sycamore also. So we might
Oh,
have
good.
2 ways. So
Right.
it's, a lot of people. I mean, it's just amazing how many people really use our trails.
Absolutely.
And so it's nice to be connected, and then also to get over to the recreation center also. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
We can make it all connected, and you can turn, we can start, making events with these kind
Right,
of things.
right.
And going on that. Yeah, so
And
it's great.
speaking of events, at Cielo Grande this past Monday, we had Fun Fit Family Night, which is sponsored by the Roswell Independent School District and Department of Health and Healthy Kids, Chaves County.
right.
We also had County Extension out there. Wings for Life was out there. There were several different places. I believe WIC was there.
Okay.
And we had our PE teachers doing physical activities with the kids that came.
Okay.
And we had a great turnout. It was a beautiful evening. We did it outside because of COVID and protocols.
Right.
So we did it outside. And Kelly Harper from Roswell Food Service, the Roswell Independent School District Food Service, served over 500 fruit cups.
Wow.
So I know we had 200 and some children, and I'm guessing they each brought an adult or two.
Right,
and siblings.
Yeah, I think there I think there were more than 500. I mean,
There were tons
lots
of people.
out
Good.
there, and the
So-
weather was so nice, and people are just glad to be out
Sure.
and about.
They want to live life again.
They
you know,
do.
yeah.
They do. So they're really excited to go to these things.
Awesome. Well, good. Well, I'm glad to see that. And of course, we got
Right.
the fair coming up here next week.
Which
so
is so exciting.
get out there and get to visiting the booths and things, and
See the animals,
see
see the
animals,
arts and crafts.
see where your food comes from.
And we're going to have a little, we have a window out there. So look for the Healthy Kids Chaves County
you guys in
window.
the education building there?
Education
Very
building.
good, yeah.
And we'll be supporting the 5210 program in that.
Right.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we're excited about the fair.
Excellent. So, and if you want more information about anything we're talking about here too, when you're at the fair, go look for that. Again, it'll be in the education building on the walls.
Exactly.
They have a lot of nonprofits and things
Right.
have little booths or
yeah.
what they call
Right.
them. But
and they're
but yeah.
all tagged.
Yeah. So if
Right.
you're like wanting more information, if you're thinking, hey, I'd like to, set up something for my class, or
Sure.
hey, I want to learn more about some of the programs here, you can reach out, and these ladies will be happy to get you going and get you started.
Absolutely.
here.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
what's the if I know you guys don't really have an office per se
No.
or anything, so probably through the Facebook page
Through the Facebook.
is the best
if they'll
way
send
to
us
get
a
a hold of you guys.
message, we'll get back to them. We're checking it all day long.
Very good. And if just look for Healthy Kids Chaves County on Facebook.
Yes.
Right.
And like and follow it.
Please.
That way you'll stay up to date for any time there's events happening or
Right.
or just
Exactly.
resources. Obviously during the pandemic, a lot of opportunities pop up here and there.
Right.
You guys share and spread the word to make sure that gets out to everybody so they
We
have
do.
access to these resources.
Right.
So it's a good source of information as well as just a great opportunity to get tips and things on
Recipes.
Yeah, healthy dinners and things.
Different physical activities to do.
Everybody
Lots of
has
things.
that same argument every night. What do you want to do for dinner? I don't know. What do you
man,
want to do for dinner? Man? Hey, I saw on the Healthy Kids Chaves County Facebook page
Right.
there's this new calabacita recipe. Let's
There
knock
you
this
go.
out.
And there's been one there this month, so check it out.
Very good. Well, thank you, ladies, as
You
always.
bet.
Appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
We'll talk to you next time, okay?
All right.
And hopefully you guys get a chance to be at the fair at all next week, or you guys going
I'm
to be...
sure we'll go out and support it.
Good deal.
Certainly.
We'll go. Maybe we'll
Certainly.
see you out and about there.
Absolutely.
And I'll eat one less funnel cake just for...
I
We
know.
appreciate that.
Although I've been telling people for years, if you eat fair food at the fair, those calories don't count.
I
Oh.
like that.
As soon as you
I
take
like
it off
that.
the fairgrounds, then it doubles.
true.
There you go.
Right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it.
Anytime. It is 7:32. Let's pause